Ah, yes, that's the progressive Portland. She's like, look at me, give me a little bit of attention. There's a guy with the camera. So there's the real Portlandia. And going to video number 9 now, you know, some people may be wondering, well, where have all the plastic bags? Where have they gone now that they've banned them at the supermarkets? That's right, plastic bags are banned here in a future Agenda 21 mecca of the new Portlandia that is currently being built. Going to video number 9. I'll tell you where the plastic bags went. And we're going to the time code that I gave you a little bit further in the video.
In Burnside, or I mean...
Are you going to pay for the cab for you?
It appears that there's a little bit of a struggle, and what I've seen an increase in some of these videos showing the Portland police doing their job, and I use that word loosely in more of a general term, but I'm seeing more bags being put on people's heads, which reminds me of Abu Ghraib. It looks like a torture situation. Scroll forward just a little bit. So this man is a friend of the guy that's being arrested, and he claims that he was merely defending himself from assault. And so obviously there's a struggle taking place. Going forward a little bit further, you're going to see a bag put on this individual's head. And
yeah, I got some of it, yeah.
This is official Portland police policy. When a suspect or someone that's being detained allegedly spits at the officers. But one might wonder, did they actually spit at the officers, or are they just being accused of spitting at the officers so they can put a bag on their head? And how would you feel if a bag was put over your head and you were in a stressed out situation? Maybe you had too much to drink. Maybe you just need to cool off and scream and shout. And if you need to hit the concrete wall till, you know, your hand hurts and you start crying, then fine, so be it. But oftentimes in today's society, we see police making a bad situation even worse by getting aggressive with someone who's intoxicated. And so in certain situations, it is somewhat predictable that a human being that's being boxed into a corner, they might spit at an officer. But is it right that they should be turned into a convicted felon or something to that effect, or have a bag put on their head? You know, I think it really comes down to, why were they arrested to begin with, and were they in the wrong? Because in many cases, people are arrested or detained where they actually did nothing wrong, but they end up accruing additional charges like assault on a police officer, which is a felony, and spitting is considered assault. So what we're seeing here is a rise in plastic bags on heads in Portland, Oregon, which remind us of something, which remind us of torture. And I'll say to some of you that are, you know, older audience members that are okay with this, what the hell's wrong with you? They weren't doing this to you when you were 20 or 30, hanging out in Portland in the 70s and 80s and 90s. I think that some of you have actually had your hearts calloused by merely living in Portland. And I would not want to wish this on the younger generation, the things that are coming. A lot of you that are older did not have to live in this kind of a police state the way it's turning into, what it's turning into, the type of police state that our country's becoming. So I would definitely, going back to the video, I would definitely consider those words I just shared. The world is changing. It's not the same world you grew up in. And I say that knowing that most of the people watching this show are much older than I.